What's going on, everyone? Joe Goodhue, Hilton Hyland. Super excited today's episode. We have an amazing special guest, Stefan. He is the founder of LA Life Hacks. It's a Los Angeles lifestyle guide. He's got an amazing Instagram page, podcast, website. Be sure to check it out. So let's hear the story, Stefan. First off, who are you? Where did you come from?
All right, first of all, it's good to be here with you, Joe. It's another beautiful day in Los Angeles, so I appreciate you inviting me out here. So I've had a background in IT. I got bored with it, so then I started my own marketing company. My hobby was showing people what to do in Los Angeles, so I started this account. It started to grow, and now I do it full time.
That's amazing. Well, first off, how would you describe LA Lifestyle? Or LA Life Hacks, what would you describe it as?
So Life Hacks LA is a brand about what to do in Los Angeles, but we kind of share like underground stuff, you know, like secret pop-up bars and that sort of thing, the best hikes in LA. And it's always got a little hack to it. So that's why I called it hack, because I'm always looking for that extra thing. For example, I just did a tour of the Santa Monica Pier today on a live.
Saw that.
But then I showed the dollar parking that most people don't know about. So that was the hack.
We'll talk about that after. Awesome. So you started out in IT. I think you said you're from the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Came down to LA, fell in love like so many do. And from IT to this, how did that happen?
So what happened was I had a long career in IT, and then I kind of reached what I thought would be the pinnacle, which would satisfy me, which is a job at Fox Studios. And so I was like, okay, this is about as exciting as you can get with IT. I was getting well paid, but I just wasn't happy with it. So then I've discovered like the online lifestyle. I started learning everything I could about online marketing and started an online business. But my hobby was sharing what to do in Los Angeles. So I started that Instagram, it started catching on with people, started growing the following, and then I started using those marketing skills to further grow the account. And here we are today, I'm talking to you.
It's crazy. And when did you start it?
I started the account about 5 years ago, but I didn't really get serious about it except for like 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
Like where I was like, okay, this is something I really want to go all in and, you know, like brand myself and, you know, like really try to put it out there, you know,
That's
put
amazing.
myself out there.
And I think we were talking before, he said it kind of was just something he shared for his family and friends, and then it just gained momentum. At what point was it like, okay, I'm onto something, let's take it to the next level?
I think when I hit around 10,000 followers, because like Joe said, I was just, or like you said, I was just doing it mostly for family and friends and myself, because I'd always forget about these amazing places. I'd hear about them once, and then I'm like, okay, let me post. I literally go to my own account and look back like a year to see cool ideas again, that I had forgotten about. But anyway, so it doesn't, like, to do something like this, it doesn't have to be Los Angeles. I mean, you don't have to copy anyone, but the mindset or the desire to live a different kind of life where you have your own financial freedom, that's what kind of led me to the path. And I started looking at like, okay, what am I into? You know, I didn't want to be like a personality brand. I wanted to share something I love. I truly love, and I truly love sharing like what to do in Los Angeles. Like someone walked up to me on the street, I overhear somebody talking like tourists. I'm like, no, you don't want to do that. You want to go over there. You want to do this. So to get paid to do that, it's an awesome feeling.
Yeah, living the dream. I feel like, as they always say, passion never fails. You know, something you spend so much of your working life working, you might as well do something that you love.
Exactly.
Tell me, was there ever a moment as an entrepreneur you were struggling at a low point down out, you're like, I don't know if this is gonna work, or was it always just on the up and up?
All right, how long do we got on this interview? Because I've had a lot of struggles.
Okay.
I've had a lot of struggles. I mean, there's so many, but I'll put one out there that's kind of relevant to the Life Hacks LA, because I've had a couple of different entrepreneurial journeys. But one of them was I didn't want to get on camera, right? So I didn't want to, I kind of hid behind the brand of just Life Hacks LA. No one knew who I was, it was just a logo.
Okay.
But once I got over that hurdle, and the reason why I'm bringing up this one is because it kind of relates to the other struggles I have, whereas you just have to grind through it, you know what I mean? If you think everyone is just comfortable the very first time they get on camera, that's not true. The difference between people who have succeeded and people who haven't is they've gone through that pain period. So it's unavoidable. You just have to go through that pain period, right?
Yes.
So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna suck. I don't care. I cringe when I go back and I listen to my first podcast. I cringe when I see myself on camera the first couple times. But like anything else, if you really want it, you gotta go through that grind, you gotta go through that pain period and embrace the suck, like you said.
Man, that is great advice in life and in business for sure. You know, it's about doing the things which you don't want to do at the highest level consistently, I think. So I think one of the biggest questions you probably get, and I have, is like, where do you find all these things? Are
Man,
people like sending them to you? Are you doing research? Like, there's so much to do.
I do a little bit of research, but to be honest with you, there's stuff that's kind of like the staple hacks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll give
Runyon
you one.
Canyon.
Yeah. I'll give you a perfect example
Okay.
of a hack that's been around forever, but still a lot of people don't know about, and that's the Hollywood Bowl, right? You know
Yes.
about the Hollywood Bowl?
Of course.
So if the thing with the Hollywood Bowl is people don't realize that it's actually a public park. So you can go to the Hollywood Bowl, and I don't know how it's like during COVID, but in a normal time, you could go into the Hollywood Bowl, and it's usually empty, and just hang out and have a picnic. And here's an additional hack. So during the summer season, the LA Phil plays there. You can go, I think it's on Tuesdays, you have to look it up. They actually practice there. So you can go to the Hollywood Bowl for free, go into the Hollywood Bowl, watch them perform, and have a picnic. So that's kind of like a long-term hack that's been around forever, but still a lot of people don't know about.
No.
And then there's also these things that just pop up. For example, food pop-ups are a big deal. There's one I just heard about, it's called Kuya Lords. It's this Filipino food, which I love, and it's out of this guy's home, right? So that's like something that just popped up. Those kind of things pop up all the time, and I hear about them because I'm on Instagram a lot. People send me things. You know, I read all the magazines, all the websites, and keep up. So,
what are maybe one or two of your most recommended or your personal favorite things to do? Hacks to do?
So my number one hack is to, it's kind of like a more general hack, right? So there's all these individual things like the Hollywood Bowl that I could just kind of spout off. But what I like to do is I like to go to a particular area and see a bunch of things at once. Because as you know, someone who lives in Los Angeles, we were talking about this, depending on where you are, things are so different. So you live in Santa Monica, you hang out in Santa Monica, that's kind of all you see.
Yeah, it's a 3-mile bubble and never leave the west side.
But then you could go to Burbank, you could go to Beverly Hills, you could go to San Pedro, you could go to Palos Verdes, and it's all completely different. So what I always recommend to people is that you go to see something you want to see, but then make sure that there's other things close by so you can see a bunch of stuff in one day. So I like hack an entire neighborhood. For example, one I always like to point out is San Pedro. San Pedro is a place that not many people talk about because it's, you know, it's not that exciting. It's way on the end of the 110. Doesn't get a lot of good publicity, but there are so many amazing things to do in San Pedro, and they're all within 5 minutes apart. So you can go down and see the Korean Bell. You can go down and see Sunken City. You can go down. They've got an amazing brewery right there, Cabrillo Beach.
No way.
And I could just go on and on, but the
Brewery,
point,
I'm gone.
Yeah, the brewery's amazing. But my point is that the best hack I can share is to find a place that you want to go and check out something, like maybe some bar or maybe some hike or something, but then do the research for stuff that's nearby and make a day of it. Go down there in the morning.
Smart.
Yeah.
Amazing, I appreciate it. And tell everyone where they can find you.
lifehacksla.com on Instagram, lifehacksla, and podcast, lifehacksla. So just type in lifehacksla and you'll find us.
I love it. Life Hacks LA, so much to do. Stefan, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for your time, man.
Awesome, Joe.
Cheers.
Nice to have you. Thank you for having me on.